modeling, and you can see there it's called Sine City, so that gives us a possible indication at what type of function we're supposed to use. But the first question is to graph out, and then we can see what the results look like. Now, particularly on this question, but also on any, but this one doesn't have the squared paper, so particularly here, I would actually go to our calculator and I would type in the data, which I've done here, and I would graph it on the calculator first to get an idea of what type of function it might be. So if we go to second function and stats plot, we can turn this one on and then we can graph. And you can see we're now going to have our points on there. Now, obviously I have other functions that I need to get rid of first. And then what we can do here is just go to zoom and stats zoom. And we can see the function. So straight away there, you should be noticing that that is a trigonometric function, and therefore we're going to be modeling it with sine. So you can now plot what this looks like. So we have 36 as our first value. We can see that it goes up and then down and back to the beginning. Now, obviously, normally in an exam, you would be given squared paper. So when you're doing this in your exam question, you would obviously have squared paper and do this much more accurately. But we can see we have this central value around 36. So this is the central value here. And we can also see that we have a height or a dip here, and it goes from 36, which is the central value, and then the highest point is up here at 60 and down at 12. So we can see there that that is a movement up and down of 14 each time. So we have a central point at 36, a movement up of 14 and a movement down of 14. And then the other piece of information we need is to know how long it takes to do the full cycle. So from the midpoint up, down and back to the midpoint. And we can see that that is a distance of 24. Okay, at 24 here, then we'll be back at 36. So we can start to see how this model is going to take form. And it says determine the equation that models what you're going to be doing here. Okay, so we know that it's going to be of the form sine x. Now, when we model with sine x, the amplitude is the first part, which is how far up and down it is. So that is our 14. Then we have our sine x, or sine of the period. And this part here, the number in front of the x, is 360 divided by how long it takes to complete the wave or the period. And that there gives me 15. So it's 15x. And then the last part is the central point, which I can see on mine is 36. Now, based on that, we can also double check our answer on the calculator. So we can go to statistics, calculations, and we can have a look down here if there is a trig regression line, so sine regression. And the lists here are in list 1 and list 2. Yours may already say that. And we can see there that we have the same values as to what we just have. Now, because they've got the bx plus c, that's why their values here are a little bit different. So just be aware of that, but you can certainly check your a is 24 and your d value there, you can see as well, is 36. So from that, and let's just graph it again. There we go, we can see the graph. It says use the equation to find or to predict how many letters are going to be posted on the 11th day. So we're taking our regression and we're just substituting x to be 11. So we have 14 times sine of 15 times 11. So x is now 11 plus 36, and that gives us 39.6 letters. So that's the second part of the question there.